Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about what is going on with the women's 400 freestyle, because in the last 10 days at this point we have seen the three fastest performances in the women's 400 freestyle, which were over a second quicker than the world record, which had stood from 2018 world short course champs to 10 days ago. And since the world record went, two other girls then went quicker than the previous world record, which was swum by Ariarne Titmus, the long course world record holder, a serious swimmer, and it just seems kind of bizarre that, 3:53.9 was the world record. Ledecky had swum it at ISL back in 2019 and went 3:54.0, missed it, and then boom, world record, boom, boom, two more swims faster than the previous world record. Just seems a little bit absurd, but because it's a 400 freestyle, I'm going to talk as we go through this race, because we don't need to look at everything going on in this race. We can talk about some other stuff. So here we are. This is the Chinese National Championships, the National Short Course Championships, and it's an invite-only meet. There's not a lot of swimmers there, I think, because of COVID still pretty rampant in China at the moment. So they've only invited a select few swimmers. And it's also serving as their World Short Course Trials. So the winner, the top two in each event here, will get invited to go on the Chinese national team to swim at the World Short Course Championships in Melbourne later this year, or in 4 weeks' time now. So I'm going to press play. And here we have in lane 4, Bingjie Li. And I just want to first of all just talk about that dive. She enters with her arms in like a Superman position. I don't know, it's the first thing I noticed, and it's kind of painful that that's the start of the world record. But she has a small lead here at 25. She breathes on her breakouts, which if you're one of my swimmers, I don't like that. But she gets in a nice breathing every two sort of routine. She has a slightly late breath, but it's a low breath, double breaths into the turn. That's a bit of a thing in China. Sun Yang used to always do it. And there's a few obscurities with this race just from the get-go. They did swim heats. Yep, double breath. Not even into the turn, just a double breath in the length. It's short course, I know you don't get that many opportunities to breathe, but just so many breaths by this this swimmer here. But yeah, we've got a real nice close-up of her stroke here, which is super efficient, and she's not got a super low rate considering this is a 400 free. The breathing habits are really, really off-putting to me. But yeah, we can see that there's an empty lane in lane 3, and that's because lane 3 has a Kistler block, which is a block that does your force of takeoff, your reaction time. It's got loads of science. They're really quite expensive actually, and it's no surprise there's one here, because this is a training pool, not a competition pool. But it just seems absurd that in this sort of pool we don't we're having world records set, but we also don't even have a lane 3. Just seems bizarre. I don't know what the ratification standards are, and I'm not saying it's not a FINA approved 25 metre pool. I'm just saying it seems bizarre that we're racing in a pool that doesn't even have a lane 3 racing because it's got a Kistler block in it. So that was just something I want to point out, and just something that doesn't really sit perfect with me. We can see the Kistler block in lane 3, not even a time pad in. Bizarre. But yeah, let's talk about actually why the 400 freestyle in the women's side has just gone so crazy in the last week or so. And just for perspective, in the men's side of things, there is 7 seconds, 8 seconds even, between the long course and short course world records. We have 3:32 by Yannick Agnel in the short course and 3:40.0 by Paul Biederman in the long course variation, whereas in the short course variation, with the world record set by the same swimmer, it was currently at 3:53.9 from Titmus and 3:56, I think 4 or 5 in the long course event. So we only really had 2.5 seconds difference between the short course and long course, which, if we were going to have the same 8 seconds difference that we do on the men's side, and there's no rule that it has to be 8 seconds, we could be looking at someone swimming as fast as 3:48 in the short course event. And when you then move on, that Titmus probably had a 4-minute PB when she set that previous world record. She's moved on 4 seconds in a short course event. Again, didn't do ISL, hasn't done any short course meets since then, so hasn't really had an opportunity to move that world record on. Ledecky, until this weekend, had swum one during the pool in 2013, one ISL in 2019, where she went 3:54.0 and then hasn't swum it again. Summer McIntosh is on a great trajectory, and this athlete here has had a lot of injuries and issues with just being able to train because of COVID in China. So when you take all of them factors into account, there's no surprise that there's been a big sort of surgence of the 400 freestyle. First with this swim here by Bingjie Li with this 3:51.3, 2.6 seconds off the previous world record. But then at the World Cup Toronto leg, Summer McIntosh having a brilliant race, both going 3:52.8 and Ledecky 3:52.88. And a little pop off there. Actually, both Summer and Katie went way under this this world record split at 200. They both went out in 1:54, whereas Li Bingjie actually went out in 1:55, but she actually had a negative split, coming back in a lower 1:55 to set this world record. So yeah, we now sit here. In the last 10 days, we've had this 3:51.30. We had 3:52.80 by Summer McIntosh and 3:52.88 by Katie Ledecky, who did race the Indianapolis stop yesterday in a much slower 3:54.0, which is just off the previous world record, which we can see there as 3:53.92, and the national record, I think it was of Wang Zhangji. It was 3:53.97 before the race, and yeah, salute in the crowd. But yeah, a beautifully paced swim. Brilliant splits the whole way through, building into the second half, doing that negative split, which, you know, long course is a much more popular tactic than it is short course. Beautifully efficient stroke, but some really annoying breathing habits there in that race. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please do like, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll analyse some more races soon. Hopefully there's some more world records to analyse. I'm pretty sure Katie Ledecky will swim one in the 800 free in the next 48 hours. As always, I'll see you on the next video.